Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bhagwan Yadav, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, GMP Institute of Pharmacy. Today we will discuss a basic point of GMP, good manufacturing practices, in the relation with QA and QC. This is a topic from quality assurance subject, and the subject code is BP606. So first, we will start from GMP. So what is GMP? So as you can see in slide, GMP is a part of quality assurance which ensure that products are consistently manufactured and controlled to the quality standard appropriate to their intended use. So first, GMP is a part of quality assurance. Means you can say it comes under the quality assurance. As there is pharmaceutical, in a pharmaceutical there is one department that is quality assurance, and quality assurance mold the things of GMP as per their requirement. And basically, GMP is a set of principle and procedures. In a second point, you can see that a set of principle and procedure, which when followed by manufacturer for therapeutic goods, help ensure that the product manufacturer will have required quality. So it is a set of principle and procedure. There are lots of principles by which we can maintain the quality. And second thing, procedures, the SOPs, standard operating procedures, which are generally used in manufacturing companies. So we can make quality by these principles and procedures given in a GMP. Some more points we can add in good manufacturing practices. A basic tenet of GMP is that quality cannot be tested into batches of the product, but must be built into each batch of the product during all stages of manufacturing process. So we can say that GMP offer us that we can make the quality in every stage. Like suppose you prepared one tablet and you want to check the hardness of every tablet, then it is not possible. We cannot check every tablet for every test. So finally, the point comes with us that in all stages we have to maintain the quality. Second point is it is designed to minimize the risk involved in any pharmaceutical production that cannot be eliminated through testing the final products. Or we can say we are minimizing the risk. There are lots of risk in a pharmaceutical during the manufacturing. So by using these GMP principles and procedures, we can minimize the risk. There are lots of risk. Like if you are preparing a product, then there are the stages like granulation, compression, coating, packing, primary packing, secondary packing. So these all are the stages in which there are lots of risks, and we have to minimize the risks. Some main risk are, if you are talking about the risk, then some main risk: unexpected contamination of the product causing damage to health or even death. Suppose we are not taking the precaution regarding the contamination, then there might be chances of contamination of the product. Like there is a unidirectional flow in pharmaceutical as per the GMP. If you are not following the unidirectional flow, then the product will flow as per the requirement. Means the movement will be more and the contamination will be more. So this type of contamination can cause damage to the health, even death. Incorrect label on the container, which could mean that patient received the wrong medication. It may be happen during the packing of the product. Sometime it happens, mm, or we can say it is a risk that suppose we are first we take a batch of 100 mg, then after changeover we are taking the second batch of 50 mg, and the line clearance is not proper, then the same level can be used in a second batch. So it can cause a major risk to the patient. Means the patient who want to take 100 mg is taking the 50 mg, or the we can say it is a major risk. The next point is insufficient or too much active ingredient resulting in ineffective treatment or adverse effect. insufficient or too much active ingredient. It may be happen that if we are not following the procedures and principles, then we are not weighing properly, or we are weighing properly, but the weighing balance is not working properly, the calibration is not proper, or verification is not proper. In that case, it may be happen that we are not taking a proper weighing medicines. We are not taking the active ingredient in a measured quality. So this may happen that if you are taking insufficient amount of active ingredient, then we can get result ineffective treatment. Or if you are taking more than the required quantity, then it may be happen that we are getting the adverse effects. The next point is why GMP is important. So there is one question that why we are preferring the GMP. A poor quality medicine may contain toxic substance that have been unintentionally added. If medicine has a poor quality, it is related to the health, then it may cause major injuries to patients, or we can say toxic substances unintentionally added to the medicines. Then it may be happen that we are not getting the proper quality of the product. And the second point is the medicine that contain little or none of the claimed ingredient will not have intended therapeutic effect. Or it may be happen according to the GMP. If you are not following, then claim ingredients we are not getting in a final product. Then we can make a proper effect on therapeutic effects. Next is a relationship. There is a coordination between QA, GMP, and QC. Everyone is linked up with each other. QA is a department which is for quality assurance. QC is a department for testing, and GMP is for guidelines, or we can say for principles and procedures. So, as per the department in a pharmaceutical, we can see that first, you can see here in the picture that all around that is QA. Means first is a QA, then second is GMP, and third is QC. So QA is a department in which we can prepare the GMP, or we can make the rules and regulations for GMP. And as we mentioned, rules and regulations, procedure and principles in GMP, QC will follow the same thing. Or we can say QC is following the GMP and GMP is according to the QA. So this is the interrelationship between the GMP, QA and QC. So same point, QA is a sum total of organized arrangement with the objective of ensuring that product will be of quality required for their intended use. So QA is fully responsible for the quality of any organization, or we can say for any pharmaceutical. And the GMP is a part of quality assurance aimed to ensuring that the product are consistently manufactured to a quality appropriate to their intended use. So GMP is a part of quality assurance, we know, and it is for ensuring that if you are making a product or manufacturing a product, the consistency should be maintained for each batch. We cannot say that the first batch is good and the last batch is worse. So every time in every single tablet, suppose we are manufacturing tablet, every single tablet should have the same quality. It is the aim of GMP. And the last point, QC, is that part of GMP concept with sampling, specification, testing. So QC is basically a laboratory department, we can say. So in laboratory, there is some part, or there are some departments, sub-departments which handle with the sampling of the product, specifications and testings, documentation and release procedures, which ensure that necessary and relevant tests are performed and the product is released for use only after confirmation of the quality. QC is responsible for all type of tests which we can do for initial for API uh, ingredients for first stage like granulation. After completion of granulation, again we will take the sample. Then if QC pass the sample of granules, then we can proceed for the completion. In the same scenario, if we are taking the tablets for coating, then it should be passed by the QC. Then only we can use for the coating. In the same case, in the same scenario, in the same flow, we can say if we are taking the tablet for packing, primary packing, then it should be passed. The coated tablet should be passed by the QC. So it is responsibility of QC to sample every time. The sampling is the first rule of QC, first work of QC, to sample everything which is coming inside the pharmaceutical or after completion of any process. So QC's responsibility to take the sample and to test according to the specifications, and then they have to prepare the documentation and release procedures which ensure that necessary and relevant tests are performed. As per the specification, they have to perform the test and finalize that the product is within the quality or out of the quality. So the confirmation part, quality by testing, is applicable to the QC, and it work according to the GMP, and the GMP comes under the Q. This is all interrelationship we can see. Next is the difference between Q and QC. As I told you that QC is a laboratory part and QA is a total sum total arrangements of organization. QC is that part of GMP which is concerned with sampling, specification, testings within the organization, documentation, and release process, which ensure that the necessary and the tests are carried. It is responsible for these things: sampling, specifications, test, documentation of the test, and QA. On the another part, QA is the sum total of organized arrangement made with the object of ensuring the product will be of the quality required by their intended use. So QA is responsible for the confirmation of the test, or we can say for the assurance of the QC, we need QA. Second point, operational laboratory techniques and activities used to fulfill the required quality. So QC is responsible for all the activities, operational activities of the laboratory. On the other hand, all those planned or systematic actions necessary to provide adequate confidence that a product will satisfy the requirement for quality. This is the part of QA. QC is lab-based, QA is company-based. So finally, we can say QC is a laboratory system and a QA is a organized system. Means you can say it is company-based. Next part is GMP. The quality of formulation or a bulk drug depends on the quality of those producing it. We can directly say that output it is directly proportional to input. As we are taking the inputs, then the output will be the same as we have the outputs. Without inputs, we cannot get the output. Like if the quality is not in the inputs, then we cannot say the quality will be received in output. Or we can say the quality is depend on the formula, excipient, ingredients, everything which we are using at the initial stage. So we can say personnel also responsible for that. The person who are working for that manufacturing processes are also responsible for. They are using the SOPs, they are following the GMP. That all points are responsible. Second point is the GMP is the magic key that opens the door of the product. If you are using a GMP, good manufacturing practices in a pharmaceutical, then we can say the quality will be achieved. Obviously, we can say the GMP is a set of principle and procedure. If you are following all the SOPs, all the procedures, all the principles of the GMP, then the quality will be maintained. In matter of GMP, swim with the current, and in the matter of quality, stand like a by this quotation, we can justify the GMP. Swim with the current, it flow with the currents, and in the matter of quality, stand like rock. If it is a point of quality, then the GMP will not be changed. Or you are using the GMP, then GMP will work as a rock. Objectives of GMP. Some objectives why we are using the GMP, and if we are using the GMP, then what will be the objectives? to produce product conforming to the predetermined specification. The first of all, for a pharmaceutical has a set of specifications, pre-approved specifications, predetermined data. So every time we have to confirm the data if we are producing a batch. For example, if there is a written in Indian pharmacopoeia that disintegration time of a tablet, uncoated tablet, should be less than 15 minutes, then if you are manufacturing one uncoated tablet, then you have to justify that Indian pharmacopoeia. So by this example, we can understand the things. To produce product of consistent quality. In a previous some data, we also discussed this point that consistency is a first requirement of the quality. If you are manufacturing the quality, not a single day, not a single hour, not a single page. For every page, for every product, and for every tablet, whatever we are manufacturing, we should maintain the consistency. Means at the start of the month we are maintaining the quality, at the end of the month we are not maintaining the quality. This is not GMP. GMP is every time we have to maintain the quality, produce the product of consistent quality to minimize contamination. This is one point of contamination, because contamination uh, has so many risks. If the product is contaminated, we can say product is not for patient. And the last one, to eliminate the errors. Errors means what? There are the lots of risk and errors during the manufacturing. So if we are following the procedures and principles, we can eliminate lots of errors. So thank you. This was the short topic about GMP, QC, and QA. So there is some interrelationship. We can summarize the point that in a pharmaceutical there is a QA department, and the QA department set the rules and regulation, procedure, and principle. By the help of GMP, they prepare the GMP, and by these GMP regulations, QC work and give the results of the quality. So thank you. Thank you.